We're holding now Ace Hey. The Rebbe says, "Yishlevar zal peidua zesh Yisrael ma'amini belikus b'emunah pshuta ve'in tzrichim rayas al zeh u'mitzad shnei taimim." So we can explain this. The last thing that the Rebbe said in Ace Dalid is that from the Hemshech or the Mamor, it's mashma that Kosas Lamor comes after the explanation of Rai Mehemna. So it's mashma that the Kosas Lamor has a shaykhis to Moshe being zonim of finest the Yidden the Emunah B'Pnimius. So to explain this, or we can explain this based on what it's known, the Yidden they believe in the Eibishter, and they don't need to have any rayas for the Eibishter, and that's for two reasons. Number one, Lefi Shemazlayu Chazi, because their mazel sees. What does that mean, Mazlayu Chazi? That the neshama above Roya Likus Re'iyah Shlamana Masechel. It sees godliness in a Re'iyah which is higher than any Sechel. Now, since every single neshama has mazel, Maslaya Chazi, so that pale by neshama shebegufa emunah belikus. So that is pale the neshama in the guf that it should also have emunah. So that's one reason. Now, v'oid bir, another explanation. The sheidish emunah hu me'etzem haneshama. The source of a person's emunah is from the essence of the soul, shelamayla me ma zolei chazi, which is even higher than mazel. The zesha etzem haneshama mikusheres belikus. He's kashers atmis, that the etzem haneshama is connected. That the etzem haneshama is connected with godliness is an essential connection. She'ein tluya b'siba. It's not dependent on any reason. Gam lei b'inyan hariyah shelamayla ma'aseichel. In other words, according to the first way, how we're learning it is, a person has a mazel, mazlayu chazi, that the neshama l'mayla sees a likus, and that is poil the neshama in the guf that also should have an emunah. The second explanation is that the source of emunah is from the etzem and neshama, which is really higher than mazel, and the etzem and neshama is connected with godliness, which is really not dependent on any reason whatsoever. So the Rebbe says like this: Shloimar the ma'achilukim shebein shnei habiurim ha'inyanim hu. What's the difference between the first explanation and the second one? The emunah b'neshama halamu beshes beguf habo mid'is haneshama l'shalamayla him b'chinas makif. The emunah that the neshama has when it's enclosed in a body, and that comes from the neshama l'mayla, the idea of mazlayu, that is in a way of makif. Since the neshama above is higher than any inclusion, so that's why even when it's pale on the neshama in the guf, it's only in a very superficial way, makif to go away. In order for that the emunah b'neshama hamelubeshes b'guf tia b'pnimis, so in order that the emunah that the yid has should go from the level of makif and be pnimius, who are yidei gila yiskashis atzmis the etzem haneshama. It has to come from the connection of the etzem haneshama. Ki etzem haneshama hi ha'etzem shel haneshama hamalu beshes b'aguf. When we say etzem haneshama, this is the essence of the soul, which is enclosed in a body. And therefore, ha'amunah the haneshama hamalu beshes b'aguf shemitzad etzem haneshama hi b'pnimiusa. Therefore, the emunah of the neshama, which is enclosed in the body, is mitzad etzem neshama is in a pneumistic way. So that's really the connection between the two. That according to the first explanation, when we say that that a yid believes in the Eibishter is either mazlayu chazi or mitzad etzem neshama, so he says the mazlayu chazi that is only in a makiftik way, but in order for it to be b'pnimius, that is through the skashas of the etzem haneshama. Dafka when the etzem haneshama, because the etzem haneshama is the etzem haneshama the way it is melubash in the guf. So based on this, we could explain the connection in the Mamor. The kosas tamor ba behemshich lebir ha'inyan the rayim mehemna. That this idea of kosas tamor comes as a continuation with the concept of faithful shepherd. That this, the Moshe Rabbeinu is sustaining the Eden. That Amunah should be in a pneumistic way. How does he do this? Is through him being Megala, the Etzem HaNeshama, Shalamayla Mazal Chazi, which is higher than Mazel, Mor Shalamayla Me'ed. Now, Umashinemar, and this is what it says, Kosis Lamor. What does it mean, Kosis Lamor? Mavar Ba'amaymer, Shebechdei Lagia Lahamor, Hu Ha'idei Ha'in, the Kosis Shebizman HaGolos. He explains that in order to come to the level of Meir, this is through the idea of being crushed in the time of Golos. Hu Ki Iker Hagilei De'etzem HaNeshama, Meir Hu Be'in HaMesiris Nefesh. How do you get the main revelation of the Etzem HaNeshama? Is through Mesiris Nefesh, Shikari Hu Bizman HaGolos, L'Kaman, which mainly is in the time of Golos. So, what we said, just to make a sikkim of the Sif, we explained that there's two reasons for a Yid to have Emunah Pshuta. One is Mitzad, that the Neshama sees, the Iyas and Neshama, the Maila sees Elikus, which is Mazlayu Chazi, and that's Poil on the Neshama. The part, in other words, the neshama has a few different levels, right? We have 5 levels. So neshama l'mayla, we say mazlayu chazi, and that's pile on the parts of the neshama, which is lubish beguf, but that's only in the makif to go away. Now mitzad etzam neshama, and then the second way we said is mitzad etzam neshama being connected without any reason to God, to godliness, since the etzam neshama is melubish in a guf, so that's why it could be. The Amunah can be in a optimistic way, and that's what Moshe Rabbeinu does. He's mamshich the Amunah of the Etzem HaNeshama, and that comes through Mesiris Nefesh. Okay. So now he says, involve. Well, what's this idea? This that a Yid has Amunah, that he, in a way of Mesiris Nefesh, who beikar ba'amunah shemitzad etzem neshama. That's mainly from the amunah that he has mitzad etzem neshama. Why? The amunah mitzad zeh shehu rayem mazlayu chazi. This that a yid has amunah mitzad the mazel hagam shehu b'teikev gadol, even though it's very strong. Yidua this amtus shemitzad hadiyah his amtus k'dei l'biyaser. As it's known that when somebody sees something, it's very very strong. You can't convince him. Otherwise, as the famous din, aid nasa dayan, a witness cannot be a dayan. Why? Because when somebody sees something, it's very hard to be objective. I saw it, and you can't convince me otherwise. He says, nevertheless, now, even though the amunah mitzad the mazel is very very strong, and we know that seeing is very it makes a strong impression. Nevertheless, since the amunah is mitzad a reason, mitzad that he sees, and it's not connected with the etzem mitziyusay, eini mochach shim shenav shel zeh. Lav dafka will he have the Mesiris Nefesh. Zeh shamunah di Yisrael ba'ifin shehu meiser nav shel zeh, u'mnei shamunah belikus hi etzem shalei. And the reason why a yid has the amunah in a way of Mesiris Nefesh, that's because of the Munah from the Etzem HaNeshama. That's why mitzad Etzem HaNeshama it's impossible to have any kfir. With this, he could explain what he says in the Mamor that Moshe Rabbeinu, who's the Raya Mehemna, which Moshe Rabbeinu is giving the Emunah to every Yid, is Menegeh to every Moshe Rabbeinu as the Zohar says, is Bashtusa the Mesha b'chol dara v'dara, which they are mechazik, the emunah of a yid, that they should have Mesiras Nefesh while doing Torah mitzvahs. The L'cheda seemingly zeh shemesha zan mefarnes emunah. Kavur bekam mekem es v'gam Mamor zeh atzmei haydei shemash b'li sol das v'likus shaydei zeba emunah b'pnimius. So he says that seemingly this the Moshe Rabbeinu, that he is sustaining the Yidden with emunah through him being mashpit to the Yidden das in godliness, and through this comes the emunah b'pnimius. Zeh shirei Yisrael shebechol dor mechaskim ha'emunah mevur b'maymer zeh hu she'emunah d'Yisrael tia b'eifin Mesiras Nefesh. So again, Moshe Rabbeinu is being zon mefarnes the Yidden's emunah through him being mashpia to the Yidden das and likus. It comes with pnimius, and this that Moshe and the Rei Yisrael in every generation are mechazik the emunah, that the emunah should be in a Mesiras Nefesh to go even. Based on what we explained, we could say sheikar ha'in d'rayim mehemna hu zeshu zon mefarnes es emunah atzmo. So the main part of the rayim mehemna of the faithful shepherd is that he sustains the emunah itself. She'emunah tiyalei k'moishi mitzad hagiluim. So the main part, the main idea, what's the main objective of Arayim Mehemna is that he's mefarnes the Yidden's emunah, that it should be not only mitzad the revelations, but also mitzad etzem neshama. And this, the Moshe Rabbeinu is able to be mamshech the emunah in a pneumistic way, that we should have a feel and understanding. It's an outcome of the fact that he is on mefarnes es emunah mitzad atzma, which means hamshachas v'gilei emunah k'moishi mitzad etzem neshama. O kanal sifhei hamshachas emunah b'pnimius bedas v'idei gilei yiskashus atzmis etzem neshama. V'alpizeh yishleimar t'bezeh shebahaderes shutzchul Mesiras Nefesh b'peil chizkurei yisrael is pashtus of the Moshe. As I'm one of these social Mesiras Nefesh, this gala in the Rayim Mehemna being zeh oid yeser mi b'Moshe atzmei. So this, that in the generations they needed Mesiras Nefesh b'peil, and who was mechazik that was the Rei Yisrael, this pashtus of the Moshe, that the emunah should be in a way of Mesiras Nefesh. This was revealed. This idea of Rayim Mehemna was revealed even more so than from Moshe. And this is revealed dafka through the Mesiras Nefesh b'peil. Just do one more. Zayin. It's known that the Mesiras Nefesh b'peil on Torah mitzvahs of all the Yidden was on Purim in the time of the Gzeres HaHaman. Mesiras Nefesh, the Chanukah was Magzeres Yovan Heseb Iker Matas Yovanov. By Chanukah, who had the main Mesiras Nefesh was Matas and his children. Mesiras Nefesh was Magzeres Haman Heseb Bechol Yisrael. Every Yid had Mesiras Nefesh by Gzeres Haman. And with this, we can explain what the Medrash says. That Mordechai in his generation was equal to Moshe Rabbeinu. Agam she's pashus the Moshe hu b'chol dara. Even though there's a Moshe in every generation, mikol makom isav Medrash dafka hayishaku Mordechai dafka hayishaku b'deirei k'Moshe b'deirei. Nevertheless, he makes it a point to say that Mordechai was equal to Moshe in his generation. Why? If they're all this, if every Moshe is the same, Shleimer shema hamalas to Mordechai hayudi hu shoya aray mehemna begilei shekol Yisrael shebedei, because he's saying is that the milas that Mordechai Yehudi had, that he was the Rayim Mehemna in a revealed way for all the Yidden in his generation. In other words, B'dugum Moshe Rayim Mehemna shehim shechdas l'chol Yisrael shebedei k'muvon gam mizeh shedei shel Moshe kol an shedei der. So just like Moshe Rabbeinu, he was mamshech das. It was a der that everybody could have a feeling and understanding. So too, Mordechai was able to be mamshech das, that the emunah should be begilei. Mordechai Gila in Aidei, Shigila Kech Meshes Nevesh B'chol Anshe Der. So the difference is that the Moshe Rabbeinu, his revelation, Raya Mehemna, was through giving das to Anshe, to the people of his generations, and Mordechai was being Megal the Mesiras Nefesh. V'shleimer, Aidei Shemevi Mamayim Mashagas Mordechai Shemordechai B'Dei Hishakol Kamesha B'Dei Aidei Zeh Posuk Balamayim Satin Alatzmei Shorai Mehemna Begila Shekol Anshe Ader. So through this, what the Frierdiker Rebbe is saying is that he's making a psak on himself that he is the Raya Mehemna Begila.